In my mind there's a face, on my lips there's a name. In my life there's no place for the man that I love. Sorry, but I'm living my life just to sing and be free. From LA to New York, from New York to
never know what it's like. Your blood like winter freezes just like ice, and there's a cold and only light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this fool could never win? Well, look at me, I'm a-coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way, and if you need to know while I'm still standing, please just fade away. Oh, backup singers. I'm still standing after all this time, better than I ever did, like a true survivor, even like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo! Oh, once I never could have hoped to win. You're starting down the road to leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down, and if my love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. I'm still standing after all this time, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm rewriting it. I'm still standing after all this time, with me, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Let me hear the altos only. Okay, here we go, lesbian solo. Know that I'm still standing after like a true survivor. I can't do it even like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time. I'm picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. How's all my friends at Virtual Piano Bar tonight? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. How many hot dogs and hamburgers have you had so far on this Memorial Day weekend? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, we have Jane Stevens over in the UK. Right, Jane? You're over in the UK. You're not eating hamburgers and hot dogs today, are you? Hello! Hi, everybody. Oh, so yeah, it looks like, so it's great to have you here. I raided the costume closet tonight. Yes, Mr. Chris's hat, some of you may remember. It's good. It's good for a bad hair day. You just put it on there, and my lovely little Sergeant Pepper jacket that I got from Kim Jong-il's estate sale when I visited Korea. It's very nice. Yeah, hey, how is everybody? Hi, I saw Becca. I saw Kathy. Kathy, do you have a birthday? Is that true? Is it your birthday? And Hildy Lindstrom's here. And, of course, Jane Stevens from the UK. And from where the Queen comes from, Elton. Yes. And Kolya. Hi, Kolya. How are you, Kolya? And I saw Michelle Mercado-Chimkin and YouTube Frank. Yes, thank you, thank you. So glad to have you here. And Diana Beatty, Diana and Cecilia, I think, are probably watching. And Martha. Hi, Martha. How are you? Good to see you, Martha. Yes. Oh, and Renee. Oh, Renee. Hi, Renee Katz. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, happy birthday, Kathy. I think you should sing happy birthday to you. That's what we're going to do right now. It's included in the price of the minimum. Oh, trust me, I can give you the minimum. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kathy. See, I know these lyrics better than the ones that were right in front of me for the last song. It's part of the charm. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, are you one? Are you two? Are you... Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Well, I'm so excited. I have such a great show tonight. I have made a new fabulous friend who is an incredible artist and human being, and you're going to get to meet her in just a little bit. So thanks for joining. Thank you for continuing the virtual piano bar tradition and tuning in. Thank you for leaving your barbecues to watch for a while. And of course, you can always watch this in reruns, in syndication. And please, we welcome your tips. We welcome them. It is how we pay the feed the cat, so to speak, right? And I really appreciate, and so many of you have been so generous throughout the years. So that's why I keep coming back. I'm like a comet. I come back every so often, whether you want me to or not. And I want to come and invade your living rooms and spread some love, because you bring so much joy to me when we do this. If, of course, you cannot tip or donate, that is fine. That's fine, because there's something even more powerful, or, well, equally powerful as money, and that is sharing. Sharing is caring. Share the video. If you can share the video, it really means a lot to me, to us here at Virtual Piano Bar, because we pay my gorgeous producer, Heather, and the staff here at the Virtual Piano Bar so that we can bring you these lovely shows. So if you cannot tip, that is totally fine. Just please share the video. Remember, let's do a share trick. Would you like to do a share trick? Share trick. Remember these? No matter how hard we tried, COVID kicked our ass aside and we must break through. and I'm here with you. You do love and be strong, love to go home. And after all the shows I've done, baby, push it, give me one. Whoa, do you believe in love? That the love, boom, boom, beep, boom, boom, boom. If you press the share button now, I will thank you from the bottom of my heart. Woo! It's that easy. It's just that easy to do a share trick. Share tricks are just a press of a button. That's how we got some of our best share material in the world. Well, it has come to that point in time. Oh yes, thank you, Michelle. Yes, we believe. I can't wait to introduce you to my special guest star, the incomparable, the one and only, Satanya Face.
Hi.
Hi, darling. Welcome to the Virtual Variety Hour.
So much for having me. I'm so excited. Everyone seems sweet and loving, and I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, me too. I'm so happy that you're here with us, and you got a show coming up at Don't Tell Mama in New York City.
Big secret. No, like, every time I hear "Don't Tell Mama," it sounds like it's going to be a secret.
It should be, right? Yeah.
But no, please tell everybody. Like, please come.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Don't Tell Mama, June 18th at 8 p.m. So that's a Saturday. They gave me the primetime slot.
It's incredible.
It is a show called The Unicorn That Discovered Self-Love, and it's a poetry play that pretty much is about the end of an engagement. And Satanya may or may not be bitter about it, and it may or may not be about true events. So come and you are invited to the wedding, and I would love to have you guys.
So there's a lot of, it sounds like there's a lot of variables. Well, it sounds like there's a lot of what's and what ifs. Yes, right? And that's how we're going to. We have to come to find out.
Oh, please, like that.
Yes.
I think that's what makes it exciting, and you get to experience it firsthand. So, like, the only thing I'll give away is you guys are the wedding guests.
Oh, I love a good wedding. What do you think? Can I wear this to your wedding?
You can wear whatever you want to the wedding. I mean,
oh, I love her.
It's technically not my wedding anymore. I've been robbed of the wedding experience, but I would love to see that.
You weren't left at the altar now, were you?
No, before that.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Well, at least you don't have to return your gowns, because you can always use them for something else, can't you?
Everything.
My God, thank you so much for joining me tonight here on this Memorial Day weekend, where we use our memory to memorialize the things and all that stuff. And it's so fun. I'm so excited to see so many of my friends. Donald Rettman, I saw Maria Teresa from Massachusetts. People who are probably discovering you.
No.
She kind of is like Mother Teresa. She's got a.
Listen,
Yeah. No. But all these new friends of yours now. And I hope a lot of our New York friends. I saw Renee Katz from New York City. Great Mac girl, great singer, great artist, and always here, and a lot of great people to get a little taste of what's happening with your show and what's going on in Satanya's life. I'm so I can't believe anybody would leave that at the altar. I mean, before the altar. I mean, I want to see it on the altar. I mean, this is great.
Listen, one day, I feel like there's going to be something greater out there for me, but right now Satanya's got to work, so
she has to work. Well, we're all working girls these days, right?
Always,
I mean,
always.
We all are. Well, so I'm gonna turn the screen, the virtuality land over to you, and I understand you're going to give us a little sampling of your prose. Is that correct?
Always, yeah.
Ladies and go ahead. Yes, what? Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly and with much glee can say, Satanya Face.
Ooh. Hi, everybody. My name is Satanya Face. I'm the queen that'll make you feel, make your dad squeal. I wax poetic, just not my body hair. I found that poetry and through like theatrical experience was my best way to marry the arts of like theater that I've been doing since I'm 4. And I've been writing poetry since high school, even a little bit before that, but encouraged in high school. And then drag I found on Valentine's Day of 2020 before the world shut down. And I promise you it's not my fault. But I wanted to share with you guys why I did poetry. Um, for Satanya and in my journey as a drag artist and an actor, I wanted to share things that may be seen as kind of dark or sad, but turn them into something beautiful and turn them into something that by sharing it, other people can share their stories. And I believe in community healing. And I believe like by being vulnerable, it's your best way to reach out to people. And even through a pandemic, through a screen, in person, I just love being able to share art and share original words. So these are mine. I will start with a quick trigger warning. I do tackle the subject of sexual assault. And for Satanya, it was taking that experience and not bottling it anymore, turning it into something that can be shared with people and encourage other people to talk about what they've gone through. So this is a poem that I'm starting with called If I Said No. If I said no, would you have cared? Would it have made the world of difference if shaking my head had subtitles? If I said no, would you have sped past several red lights or applied pressure to the brakes instead of breaking a boundary no one had ever crossed? You were my first. To not treat my body like a temple, but to excavate and force your shape into shadows and seek refuge in stolen warmth, all before I could exhale the bumps in the road. My pace to consummate our love, from puppy love to blind casting as a soulmate who needs to understand you need to smoke before we set foot outside because it dulled your anxiety. To understand that holding hands and eye contact was too intimate. To understand that you walking away from me means you're not ashamed. I just need to catch up. To move at your pace. 35 feet away from me. 35 days of knowing you from attachment at first smile. 35 days of hearing how much you hate your parents. 35 days of buys. Biracial, bisexual, bi now, gay later. Bi-monthly visits to the clinic to remove the speed bumps, genital wart scarring you inherited from the flame before mine that you fanned, reminding me that you should have cheated on me with him because he extinguished your burning. I mean, he puts out. Visual reminders that I wouldn't have sex. I'm frigid, timid, ashamed, too vanilla, too goody-goody because I felt more warmth from cuddling with his pet cat. I refused to shove off the twin bed from a sunspot so I could do my job. Moving soft putty with my mouth, unable to charm the snake he told me would never hurt me. His scars look like glow-in-the-dark constellations I used to pray to on my bedroom ceiling at night to cure my nightmares. To wish on stars for the comforting warmth in a man to save me from reality. And kiss my lips until fear was nothing but a passing breeze, no match for a warm blanket. Back to past present, 20 years old, and this wish still didn't feel true. It felt like no one had heard my message and erased it. Dial tone, if I said no, did it make me a bad partner? If I said no, it was proving I wasn't ready to be cherished later. He lodged my throat with more silence that rang loudly like calls to my father that wouldn't be acknowledged for another month. Holy shit. My boyfriend was like my father. Both could not see past their childhood abandonment by their roots, despite finding warm homes that paled in comparison to cold, vengeful hearts. I understood feeling mixed. A race with no winners. Ethnicities, a colorful spice rack, not enough of one, not enough of the other, both straddling the uncertainty of where we fit in. If I said no, would it have been enough to prolong my virginity I wasn't mixed about keeping? If I said no, instead of freezing in time and space, exhaling nothing, would my first time with a man have been consensual? I never spoke of the robbery as months turned to years because I didn't say no. I nodded like a bobblehead on a dashboard to words of unsolicited advice. You need to say no more often. Lost flavor and color like a popsicle stick. Heart stiff but open like a triptych. Feeling a little seasick. Spread too thin like butter on a breadstick. Every time it was right to say no. If I said no, I would still be a statistic. You cross my mind a lot, but sometimes I wish you were never born. Skip, fast forward, pause, eject. You took away an old but new friend. You took away my rose-colored glasses. You filled tissues with jellyfish-like tumors and turned the couch into a hospice bed. Colder, firm, sarcastic, loud silence. You made me deaf when I wish you made me blind. You turned safe places into prisons, boxed in cold, rusted metallic electric fences. Even sunlight was scared to touch. You suffocated consent with carbon monoxide. The alarm went off, but I didn't know what it was because I never thought it was needed or it would ever have to be acknowledged, but I evacuated. Took nothing with me and reintroduced myself to the world naked. You took away innocent kisses and left them to die in a lock safe I never had the code to. You manicured my ridges and made me a yes man. You distorted my reflection and replaced every piece of glass in my home with funhouse mirrors. You made me afraid to connect. You made me grow up. You made me stop and see the world, even though you numbed me with bitter antiseptic. Carefree morphed into timid. You created inertia when all I knew was constant mobility. You made me say goodbye when I had just arrived, and now it was about collecting ashes with shaking hands and hesitant fingers. It's been said that every 7 years your cells regenerate and you actually become a totally new person. It's setting in now. 2012. You are a year only etched in memory. You are no longer functioning or poisoning my body, motored by you are unlovable and undeserving. 2012, you are no longer welcome in my home. I've used acid rain to chip away at lies I've caught myself in and polish vulnerable pools of water nationally landmarked to take care of villages. You are a year that tried to bury and drown, but only gardened a tree that can be home anywhere because it rooted and planted itself in truth and stopped to eat instead of run. You are past. I will visit your grave should I ever forget who I am. You wanted to bruise and mark your signature with cuts and calluses, but I stay soft and moisturized. You robbed and did your time, but you don't deserve to get to know me now. My new organelles are educated to not repeat the past and function from a place of love and ancestral appreciation. Sincerely, all the years I've carried you on piggyback, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, that could have been 2020 vision, 2021, not in my book. In this fairy tale, in this chess game, the queen saves herself. I exposed my heart, the bones, the cartilage, the scars. The exposed blood turned from blue to red, blushing, bearing its nakedness, and wearing embarrassment like an ugly knit sweater. I've been having conversations with myself. Good morning. Good night. Good morning. I miss you. I wish you were here or I was with you. How are you? I want to hear stories. You look so handsome in pictures. I'm craving your touch. Still crazy about you over here. Good night. Good morning. Babe, you're the first person I want to communicate with before I start my day. I made pasta today with salad. Made my business cards finally. Seen at 9:26 a.m. It's been 2 weeks. No response. I think a bigger message was sent. The clock strikes twice and the sun loses its warmth. I couldn't stop reaching out. My ears are hungry and ill. Please. Miss me back. I'm chained and you hold the key. Free me with love, disgust, guilt. Bludgeon me so I can hate you. Give me something to show you at least respect my beating heart, chock full of insecurities and unanswered questions and hopeful dreams of mutual love. Whew. Once again, it's time to collect myself, put all the strings, chords, idiosyncrasies, quirks, tears, belly laughs, upset stomach, under eye circles, and outstretched hands, back to their fear of being happy form. I suck the nectar of self-love and put back on the blinder so I can only see what is in front of me, ahead of me. I refuse to apologize. Can't be sorry for being real, for trusting and loving again. I do accept responsibility for not looking within when running close to empty, for not checking the light and fire that steadily embraces and purifies my artistic drive and nourishes my straight shooting, no bullshit, open big enough to share joy. These scars tell stories that will leave indelible tattoos and kiss passionately those willing to listen and handle with care. Sporadic loneliness infects like a flu shot. My body and mentality can handle what love has done. I provide the comfort and the cure. Put food I bought on the table to remedy exhaustion, to melt jadedness, to subdue frustration and rip out from the roots malignant pain. Through sadness and diminished voice comes a smile and a rekindled light in my eyes, determined to connect but also reject rose-colored cowardice. Maybe I'll find him on the train, at a bar, nursing a perspiring beer, sitting glued to their phones, confessing their fetishes to aliases, seeking a taste of 2-minute ecstasy. Undress me with your eyes, but see the warmth of a diamond-studded lonely heart. Warmth feels as rare as oral stimulation on a prickly been down this road before brain. Stillness has become instinct. Sobriety has sensitized sensual curiosity, and raindrops are evaded for fear of smelling like piss. Intimacy never scared me. The real kind. Pupil to pupil, locked in truth, rooted firmly in the soil of prospering honesty. Wells of the bluest waters, taste of homemade cookies with a pinch of salt. The kind of closeness where you can sense each other's inner child, to laugh with periwinkle gusto. Plump lips parted with desperation, to taste sunshine and travel the hilly latitude of goosebumps. Some run because of sensitivity to light. Bare skin burns when branded with kisses of "I'm falling for you." The bow broke and refused to cradle the aborted party, repulsed by the inkling, the quarantine concept of reciprocity. Days do somersaults into each other, and though the air seems heavier, rays of friendship hug me close to their nest-like bosoms and wipe away my tears. Dab the watercolor-stained canvas marked with strokes of coal-like validation. I'm tart, jagged, bitter. The delicate tea leaves ravaged by once welcome unwashed hands spit at the thought of dancing with just any sweetener. An electric fence fiercely protects the beating unique heart that thumps eccentrically. Exasperated from chasing and opening and closing constantly, it's a one-man band. Thank you.
Wow.
Oh. Just a little poetic journey. Just a little poetic journey.
Wow. Yeah, I'd have to say that you've been through a lot.
I look at it as like
look at all the lovely. Look at the comments. I love this. Michelle,
you guys are gonna make me cry
through
this non-waterproof mascara.
Yay, yay! It's here. What's funny is I hit that organ cue. What I was trying to hit was this.
Thank you so much.
You know, the gift of expressing things like that, things that deep, and using words to convey them is something that is so. I mean, it's so brave. It's so brave in writing. It's I know it's cathartic in so many ways, but to make it poetry the way that you do is really something quite special. And I'm so glad to, I mean, hey, this is I'm a variety show. This is what I like to showcase, all different kinds of things. And this was probably one of the most interesting, different things that I've ever had on my show. And I'm so glad that you are here with us tonight.
No, thank you.
Now you do sing a little in your show, and you do sing a little in the show. You do all kinds of different things, but also in your day-to-day life. You and I had we had the best conversation on the phone the other day.
The best.
The absolute best. And the things that we talked about is so much of what, just relating and just so human, so real. And one of the things that really moved me so much about, what you do is that you work with young kids. That you do some theater, because you're a theater mate. You were a theater major. You were in school. Girl was in school.
Yes.
Girl's got degrees. Girl has done theater. Girl has. I watched your professional demo reels, your sizzle reels and you're just an incredible. Well, your friend Alex is a great actor, and Satanya, you are just the best actress in the world. But tell me a little bit about the work that you do with the kids.
Oh, thank you. Just as an anecdote too, I found when I was in school, I had a hard time expressing my thoughts or expressing what I really wanted to say. I would try to come from a logical place, but I found that if I went to a metaphorical, imaginative place and really flesh it out, poetry helped me get my truth across, and it helped me become a better writer. So when I work with kids, what I want to see is just them to write creatively. I'm not looking for them to be the best poets or the best. I just want them to be their best selves, the way that I've always wanted to be my best self. So I started by visiting third graders, some special needs and some advanced classes, whatever you want to classify that as. But they were so imaginative, and us teaching artists got them to write original plays based on little pictures that they drew and tell the story about how these two inanimate objects would meet. And just the way their minds would work, some would express themselves through little sonnets and through little haikus and poetry, and then others just love to tell a story. So I just wanted to see that they were getting their stories told, whether it came from a personal place, not my business, or if it was from just the caverns of their imagination.
Yeah.
Where all that gold and all that beautiful stuff is,
It's beautiful, and to give them a place where they can do that and not have to worry or to worry what somebody's going to think about their imagination or what they're going through or how they express it. And I think that's just such a gift that you give to our future. Hey, girl, these are the people that are going to wipe our asses when we're in the nursing home someday. So we should really nurture them and take very good care of them. So will you stick around for a bit and come back and share a little bit more of your beautiful prose and wisdom and gorgeousness with us? Will you stick around and come back in a little bit?
I think I got some time. I would honestly love to.
Thank you so much.
I'll bring it up a little bit. Now we've made it through grieving, and we made it through heartbreak. Now we can move to gratitude and joy.
Well, I'm grateful and joyful that you are here with me. So I've already moved on to that, but I'm so impressed by your work, your words, and good Lord, I couldn't write like that. I'm so impressed. So stick around, and ladies and gentlemen, Satanya Face will be back in just a few.
Love you.
Thank
David.
you. I love you. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm speechless because we had the greatest connection and conversation, and the written word always escapes me, and of course the singing and the lyric escapes me even when it's right in front of me. But what doesn't escape me is when somebody knocks on my door that they just happen to be walking down the street. They came to take a walk at the beach in Connecticut, right down here on the Linden Avenue, and it turns out that you never know who's just strolling down the street. It could be somebody, the tax collector. It could be the gas man. Always check the badge. Always check the badge. Make sure they're safe. Or, I don't know. It could be Broadway Chicago's Mary Sunshine, David Sabella. Oh my God! 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 Okay, so I'm going to give you this microphone here. All right. You guys, look. Everybody say hi, David.
Hi. I'm here.
You're here. You're here.
It's fun.
Oh my God, it's great. I'm turning your mic up and I'm turning me down. There. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good.
Are we telling them why I'm here?
Let's do it. Do you guys want to know why he's here?
Yeah.
Just because he's not a stalker. He doesn't need to stalk me.
Although now that I know what's here, I'm going to be a stalker. Yeah, yeah. You'll see me here a lot. Yeah.
Oh, good. I love when you're here. Yeah. So let's tell them what we're doing.
So David and I are doing a few gigs around the country. Our first one is in Delaware at the Dickens Parlor Theater this coming Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you're in Delaware, come join us at the Dickens Parlor Theater in Ocean View, in Delaware. And then the 25th of June. Well, the 24th at the Players. Right. But that's not open to the public. Shh. That's right. The 25th, you're doing the Triad, and I have it on good authority. A good friend of mine will be there.
I heard, I've been very lucky to book this incredible lady named Amanda Reckonwith.
No relation at all.
Has nothing to do with David Sabella in drag and a beautiful soprano voice and this grand dame of the opera and the stage and the drag world. Amanda Reckonwith will be joining me at the Triad on June 25th with Gretchen Reinhagen.
Yes.
And yeah, we're going to have a real great Pride celebration that night. So, yeah.
And then in August, we are in P-Town at
Pilgrim House.
Pilgrim House, yes. On, August 6th and 7th, right?
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday. So come and see us. I'm doing my Chicago show, and David is doing the great Liberace.
I am. We're alternating nights of doing the 7 o'clock and the 7:30 and the 9.
So I came this weekend to rehearse, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come and show up?" So here I am.
And I said, my people demand and deserve a caliber of singing where people can sing and know the lyrics.
But you'll do anyway, he said.
So we thought we'd give a little sample from the show, this brilliant show. So if you can get to see us, to see David and me playing for David and with David, please do. As you know, well, as I've told you now, he was Mary Sunshine, and he originated the role in the revival, the City Encore's production in 1996.
Right.
That went on to become the longest running American musical, this production. And you were in it for, 70,
almost,
90
70
years?
10 years on and off. 10 years on and off. Go away and come back and go away and come back. And, that's part of the story. It's part of the journey.
So I'm just so honored to be able to play for you and play with you. And I get to fill in for the great Mark Hartman, who is...
Great Mark Hartman.
Yeah. He's the best. He's the best in the business. He's the best arranger, music director. And I love him to death, and he didn't even pay me to say that because he doesn't have to. I mean it, and I get to play his beautiful arrangements with David. So let's do a little something from the show.
Let's do a little something from the show.
I forgot to turn the volume down on that, so we have an echo, but we'll deal with it.
Turn it off right away?
Yeah, we'll
the phone?
We can do it.
I can do it.
No, we can. We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. So, yes. Okay. So, a lot of people ask me, always, still to this day, what was it like? What must it have been like to be in that show at that time? Because, you have to remember, we were the Hamilton of the 90s. Yeah. And the first year of Chicago was amazing. 6 Tony Awards, a presidential performance, and personally for me, my personal caricature unveiled at the world-famous Sardi's. And then I settled in for a long run, what we affectionately refer to as being trapped in a hit. I was the last original principal to leave the show in late 1998, but just like the Mafia, when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. So in early 1999, they asked me to go to Las Vegas to do the show at the new Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. We were going to be the first full-length musical on the Vegas Strip, starring none other than Cheetah Rivera. Well, how could I say no? That was another blissful year of my life. Then I was back to New York, but this time now with a little time on my hands. So I auditioned for another show, an off-Broadway show, and I got it. The director was a former ballet dancer named Tom Mills. I was smitten. I don't know what came over me. I asked him out. I don't know what came over him. He said yes. And for the first time in a long time, I found myself thinking about someone, something else other than Chicago. You and I, we could be a tough act to follow. Can't you see? Special people doing special things. Running rings around any pair, anywhere. You and I, we could stay a tough act to follow in every way. If you take my hand and let the music start, let the curtains part, let the spotlight glow, we'd be a tough act to follow, I know. Well, that show closed. Tom and I stayed together, and it was back to Broadway, this time to support the movie star Melanie Griffith in the role of Roxy Hart. Now, Melanie was a fantastic Roxy Hart, even though the New York Times is quoted as saying she had an occasional relationship to pitch. And they compared her to a cat, yes, a house cat, who with very little acting training or skill steals all the attention, because when the cat is on stage you can't help but look at the cat. All of that was true. But when Melanie Griffith said, "I'm older than I ever intended to be," you believed her. So I stayed in the show another 2 years after that, until 2004, when Massachusetts passed gay marriage as the law of the land. And for the first time in the continental United States, two men could be married. Well, Tom and I were there on the first day. But there was a problem. A little checkbox on the license application that said you intended to reside in the district. I was starring on Broadway. We lived in New York. I didn't know how to make it work. I turned to the town clerk and I said, "Look, I love P-Town. I could totally see myself retiring here without missing a beat." He said, "So then, are you declaring in front of me right now that it is your intention at one time or another to possibly retire to the district?" I said, "Why, yes it is." He said, "That's good enough. You and I, we could stay a tough act to follow in every way. If you take my hand and let the music start, let the spotlight glow, let the curtains part, we'd be a tough act to follow, a tough act to follow, I know." 3 days later, on Race Point Beach, Tom and I were wed. How the world can change. It can change like that, due to one little word, married. See a palace rise from a two-room flat, due to one little word, married. And the old despair that was always there suddenly ceases to be. For you wake one day, look around and say, somebody once
Wow.
Happy Gay Pride.
Happy Gay Pride, everybody. Yes, we are on the precipice of gayness. Yes, we are.
I'm always on the precipice.
The precipice it just sounds wrong. It sounds dirty. Let's bring Satanya back. What do you think about the word precipice?
First of all, you had me at gayness. Okay, that's what I heard. But the precipice, always. I'm always at the precipice. I'm between gay and desperation, but I try to stay in hopeful and dignity, right in the middle.
Well, hey, look, David, Satanya.
Hi, Satanya.
Hi, David. I'm so happy I got to meet you. And this, oh God, your voice is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you so much, and I enjoyed your poetic waxing. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think she's going to give us a little more, isn't she?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, when is that happening?
I think it should happen now.
Okay.
What do you think?
Why not? I'll go.
Why don't you toss it over?
Oh,
is that what they do?
Satanya, I leave it to you.
Thank you, David. Oh, okay. First of all, I need to see David live in something very soon. So I wrote down the dates. I heard June 25th at the Triad, so I'm going to remember that. And my show will be the week before that, June 18th, right in the same city. I wanted to, now that I think like precipice of pride, I'm going to improvise and change up my set. So I wanted to do the poem that I dedicated to my mom, because we've come a long way in really understanding each other and being easier on each other, because she's been there my entire life, been my rock, and really was there when I came out, even though like I technically have been out, but having that conversation with her anyway just changed so much that like I don't have to hide anything from her, and she gets me, So this poem is called The Light Through the Window. I saw her staring out the window once, playing her Aretha Franklin and her Carole King and her Laura Nyro. Pine soles swayed in the air to the rhythm of my mom's Swiffer. At one point, I glanced up and devoured my cinnamon vanilla pancakes drenched in maple syrup goodness. She stood there like a dancer. Posture of an eager young student in a ballet class, the left foot at about 10 o'clock, the right at about 1 or 2. If peace had a sound, it would be my mother's face, bathing in sunlight as if the rays themselves were mini time capsules. I've never seen her look like a sculpture of herself until that moment. See, she wasn't just mom. Like a cherubic fountain in a fancy courtyard, she spouted out opal complexion truths pure as water. I used to dance, she said. Adding pastel-hued paint to the canvas, she said, I started late, but I was good. It felt as natural as walking. My mind took a vacation in solitude. It would have been cool to open up my own little studio, no one to kowtow to, but I gave it up. I needed to make money. She sat down with me at the table. That's why I support your art. So I get you. She really saw me. And I never felt more tethered to her. Our blood, sewn together shadows, coming together like dots of paint, agreeing to meet for coffee due to pointillism. I have a legacy to protect. Artists who fly close to the sun and make it. My mom is my wings. I wax poetic and this wax don't melt. My mom aborted her dream and miscarried her dancing future for a man and life's logistics. I wish the man was let go of so her art could travel and soar. Hot air balloon over jagged cityscape. She tells me, I support you the way I was never supported. Fiercely. Pick up your pen and your journal your aunt bought you and make magic, create. She gave me life and purpose. Stand in the light you were meant to, like my mom did on that Saturday morning. I saw a healer, a dancer, a mother, a dancer, a friend, a lioness, a dancer, a provider, an educator, a hippie, a Buddhist, a hard worker, a dreamer, a dancer. Fresh start, Cherry blossoms with no allergies attached to velvet petals, and morning sun kissing grass with a snazzy haircut. Greetings come with hugs respecting boundaries and trusting lines on the highway going who knows where. Kisses taste like hot from the oven consent, continuing to bake internally at 180 degrees, emitting sweet patience with every bite. I'll buy a lifetime supply of cookie boxes from the Girl Scouts and young women aiming to be presidents and capable leaders of blind and ignorant men resting on rusting glory days trophies. A crown is etched with stars and passion, matching constellations and algorithms logic cannot solve or attempt to make sense of. Sunsets stop and turn us like a grandmother using a gentle calendula-smelling hand to guide us and encourage us to behave and apologize to our mothers. Creamsicle skies taste like happiness and melt because they feel appreciated and seen. Forgiveness as a shower in a hot spring, using kindness as a cleanser and tears from the past as an exfoliator, soft and etched with love and fierce protection. If we don't jump, we will never experiment nor hate fuck our own mortality. Wings need to be used or they are weighed down by tongue-in-cheek gravity and forget who they are out of fear of failing. My reflection stops and tells me like Cher, snap out of it, stupid, readjusting the lens of self-worth and truth, no longer filtered by self-inflicted speeding tickets and yellow police tape and cold crimson street barriers. A queen and king rule together with unity in the best interest of my chosen family, arm span wide enough to embrace the world and extend the dinner table, same temperament, same apologetic curvature and comforting gestures residing in flamboyant hope and renewed sense of purpose. And that's the gratitude I have for my mom and my chosen family. And we as gay people get to choose our chosen family, and that is special. I'm going to also do inspired by David's piece. I would love to do my poem called A Letter to My Future Husband. My body aches for your delivery, postmarked from my dreams as a little boy, hiding every hope for you tightly under my pillow. Friends tell me of their new connection, somehow invincible to the ragged claws of a pandemic, so I feign bad Wi-Fi to force shut down that bungee jump drop in the pit of my stomach, and that forced smile and church bell tones of celebration, using more heartstrings and muscles than it takes to frown. Jealousy, cloaked in loneliness, shrouded in impatience, overcast with words of sabotage that precipitate in heavy torrents of empty pages that God adamantly neglected to write just for me. Somehow, the universe whispered into my hopeful romantic ear that we both adore the scent of lavender, so my body is adorned with it in all cracks and crevices of this garden. Sown from teardrops for your peace and refuge in tranquility. I've learned to cook poor man meals fit for two and will cherish exactly how you like your coffee. How hard and deep my hands can mold your shoulders to help unload the burdens that came before us. How strong you would like the air conditioner, conditioning the tangles of our limbs, woven together by the pangs of hunger for each other. Play the instruments of the band that resides in your heart, knowing intuitively the songs of your wildest imagination. You've never fixed your heart and throat and mouth to hum out loud. Harp on the quintessential habits of that young boy that needed that deep hug and that deep cry as much as I did. Kiss away your tears of pain and of joy, soothing your spirits to protect your heart, syncopated to the rhythm of my breaths that waited on street corners, in cafes, in ethers of the internet, at the grocery store, at the bookstore, at weddings on the dance floor, in sunsets that kiss the ocean, and toes that burn in the sands of wasted time for you. I write to you with cautionary tales of the young queen, so afraid of loneliness, she blindly cannonballed into pillow forts of strangers, hoping you would catch her. The slightly wiser queen, walking on eggshells like a martyr, and slow dancing alone to love songs with someone else, hoping you would cut in. Refusing the ring of a man who mimicked your calming tone of voice, who wanted to change my sensitivity into hard, precisely cut diamond, you would have never melded to toss with the rest of your baggage, suffocated into garbage bags, living in the trunk of your car. I know that you crave cuddling and pizza nights and long walks as much as my stomach yearns to relax in the seatbelt of your arms and the magic of the palms of your hands. Whether in ashes or in earth, I pray that our lifelines cannot be sifted out or even distinguished from each other. My feet hurt from standing on hope that feels like sedimentary concrete seasoned with seeds and sunlight that will hopefully bloom into the partner my heart needs. My patience is short from raising boyfriends into wolves that feast on doves without a pairing, but those flaky, fleeting feelings are no match for the power of your existence. Two dreamers who can finally hold hands, hear the sparks of our souls play in each other's eyes, breathe deeper, and thank our stars for our adventures in reality, as if every day was graduation day. Thank you guys so much for letting me share my poetry. I just feel really thankful for this platform to be able to share this kind of art. Because in the New York drag scene, sometimes it's received like, oh, we don't know if we want to invite you to a brunch, or we don't know if we want to really like take the show that you're pitching, because it's not what other people think drag could be. But I'm here to tell you that drag is truly what you make it. And art has so many facets and has so many sides to it. And I feel like instead of putting ourselves in boxes, like, just allow ourselves to express what we need to express as artists. And I promise you the audience will listen. And I appreciate you guys for hearing me. I love you. Thank you.
That is absolutely beautiful, and that is such a great, great, great message. And I'm just so grateful to know you and have met you. And Satanya, I know a lady never tells her age. You're a very, very, very young, beautiful queen. And but so, hey, thank you for sharing with us. And your show again is on June 18th.
Yes,
that's the 1 plus the 8 at
exactly.
the Don't Tell Your Mother. And ladies and gentlemen, please, there it is again, that beautiful, beautiful flyer. And
and then it disappears. I love it.
The fuzz was covering it. You know, it happens.
I've been told that before.
Everyone always tells me, hold it higher. We can't. No. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see your show. I'll be there, ladies and gentlemen. Please come to New York City and see Satanya Face. Thank you, darling. It's been such a pleasure. Wow. You and I have known each other a really long time, and this was the first time that we got to co-host a little thing. I had no idea, and a drag celebrity poetry artist, huh?
I know, right? How prophetic is that?
It really is. And since you and I are going to be doing a little something in drag in a couple of weeks.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I know a good friend of mine is going to be with you at the Triad on June 25th.
I always fuck. I screw that up. Sorry. Whoop, bleep me out. Well, this good friend.
I sing one of her songs.
I understand that you're able to channel her, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, she coaches with me a lot. I coach. I taught her everything she knows. So basically, that's why I have so little left. But anyway, it's possible.
I'm going to give you this pretty microphone because you're pretty, and so is she. And I'm going to look up a little tune. I think maybe we could close out tonight with another tune. Would you do that with me?
I certainly will.
Hey guys, would you like another tune with me and David, who is nothing to do with Amanda Reckon with,
Nothing.
Who will be. Thanks, Renee. Thank you. Ooh, yeah. See, I still have Cher on. Oops, sorry. We're going to do. Tell them what we're going to do.
So
we did this years ago.
We
It's
did
so
this years
exciting.
ago. This is a David Maiocco arrangement of a song that I did years ago, long before Chicago, or after. Long
After.
before.
No, it was after.
After?
It was after.
Okay.
Yeah. You were already Mary Sunshine.
Yeah. See, I'm really very, very old, right? And I just want to say, as we are about to celebrate Pride, and the last song was about marriage and gay equality, I want all the young'uns to remember that there was a time when that was not so. There was a time when we felt we had to hide. We had to steal away in the shadows and settle for less than 100%. don't iron his shirts. I don't sew on his buttons. I don't know all the jokes he tells or all the songs he hums, though I may hold him all through the night. He may not be here when the morning comes. I don't pick out his ties or expect his tomorrows, but I feel when he's in my arms, he's where he wants to be. We have no memories, bittersweet with time, and I doubt if he'll spend New Year's Eve with me. I don't share his name. I don't wear his ring. There's no piece of paper saying that he's mine. But he says he loves me, and I believe it's true. Doesn't that make someone belong to you? So I don't share his name, so I don't wear his ring, so there's no piece of paper saying that he's mine. So we don't have the memories. I've had enough memories. I've washed enough mornings. I've dried enough evenings. I've had enough birthdays to know what I want. Life is anyone's guess. It's a constant surprise. Though you don't plan to fall in love, when you fall, you fall. I'd rather have 50% of him, or any percent of him, than all of anybody else at all.
Thank you. We love you guys. Good night. I'll see you soon.